developing our baseball program, Anthony Williams. I'm doing fantastic. I'm great. Do you have a good time?
I'm glad we're still both around this year to do a second show.
Yeah, they haven't gotten rid of me yet, which we all know there were those concerns, but thankfully, I was able to litigate it, and I'm back here being court-ordered. I'm really happy.
I'm happy for that too.
Yeah, it's true, and obviously none of this is true, but it's okay. Thanks. They were playing along at least.
The second year is true.
The second year is true. A lot of people don't know this. This whole process was Anthony's idea. He is the one that came up with the idea of doing these coaches shows, and so I like to make sure that we give credit where credit is due.
It was a collaborative effort.
Well, it was. Somebody had to get up here and talk 6 times as opposed to.
See, I couldn't do that. I'm just the idea guy. You're the follower.
We need idea guys. Yeah. We need idea guys. You're in your 3rd season coaching the baseball team now. You've had the chance to watch this group of guys develop. A lot of guys, mostly guys you've recruited, but there's still some guys that had been here under previous head coach Mike Brown. So you've had a chance to watch some of these guys throughout their entire college careers develop now. What have you seen developing in your program since you took over?
Well, I think last year we were very young. We had a lot of freshmen, and the one thing you can't replicate in practice is game speed and game experience. And so I think those young guys got a lot of experience last year as freshmen. A lot of them got close to 80, 90, 100 at-bats as a freshman in the PSAC, and that's significant. So I think that goes a long way for their development, and we've seen that early on in the season, guys taking a step forward from their freshman year to their sophomore year, especially a couple of our pitchers. So just kind of learning how to pitch against one of the best Division II conferences in the country. And going from the high school level, jumping into the PSAC, it can be overwhelming for freshmen. But I think just the game reps, the experience that they got, it's
You mentioned getting that experience in the PSAC. On any given weekend, you might take on a national championship caliber program, be it a Seton Hill, be it a Millersville, be it a Mercyhurst. I'm sure somebody's going to use it as bulletin board material because I didn't name their team, but you get the impression this is a conference that produces some of the best teams in the country on a regular basis, and your players have only gotten stronger competing against that.
Sure, and I think if you look at the Atlantic Regional last year, 6 out of the 18 were PSAC teams. So we had one, AQ automatic qualifier, and we had 5 at large bid. So that just speaks to how strong our conference is. But hey, we're taking on that challenge. We're not trying to find the guys that can help propel us to that level.
You've had extensive action away from home to start your season. As if it weren't enough for you to have to practice in 5 different facilities over the course of a regular week, you're also getting on buses every week. You're going to North Carolina, you're going to Maryland, you're going to the eastern part of the state. It's sort of the same question I posed to Cheryl, but how much does that do to build the chemistry and the camaraderie on your team, knowing that in a lot of ways, sort of like a semi-professional team or a professional team, they've got to spend weeks together on a bus?
Well, I think baseball players are creatures of habit, so we've kind of got into the routine of being the weekend warriors, hitting the road, and we're 15 games into the season now. I know it's only March 13th or whatever, but they've kind of embraced it. They understand, and I tell them all the time, there's no asterisks in the box score saying, hey, your record is this, but you only had so many practices at home or on a field or so many games at home. So we don't make any excuses about it. I think everybody in the Northeast, the situation is tough. Regardless if you have a turf field or a natural surface field, you're still not playing games very much at home. For most of the Northeast. So we kind of embrace the schedule as is what it is, and the guys get on the bus ready to go play, and they're ready to win. They're eager to compete. If nothing else, they're ready to get out of Clarion here in February and March and go somewhere warmer.
One of the challenges I would think you would have is you're playing a lot of 9-inning games, and those are things that these guys are accustomed to. So you get the opportunity to maybe see a lot of different pitchers or stretch some guys out. Then you get into the conference schedule, it's much more compressed. Obviously, you're playing maybe 4 games, doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday, but all of a sudden, you've got to throw you've got to really think on Friday afternoon. The pitchers I throw today may not be available on Saturday afternoon. Talk about dealing with that compressed schedule and sort of dealing with managing players, not just pitchers, but managing all sorts of players, their health and their condition.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the entire PSAC schedule is 7-inning games, but a lot of the games we have played so far this year are 9-inning ball games, and it definitely challenges you from a pitching standpoint, the strategy that you deploy there. But it's also a great opportunity to get guys at bats, get guys some game experience, and that's really the first month of the season before conference play starts. That's kind of our focus. Is we want to win games. We're down there to win. But we also want to see who our best guys are going into conference play, both on the mound and positionally speaking.
I would think that the strategy would change, too, from the managerial standpoint, where you're trying to figure out, now I've only got 7 innings. We've got to make something happen, or hey, we've got to put something on. How do you see your philosophy meshing with, just in general, about those late game situations? Would you say you're sort of a conventional coach in that sense? It seems like this team has been a lot more likely to put on hit and runs, put on bunts, try to get runners moving on the base paths rather than wait for the big hit.
Yeah, I think last year we broke a 30-year-old record for stolen bases, and that was kind of the identity we set out to have. We thought we had a team that could run a little bit, so we still have that this year. So our identity is we want to run, we're going to be aggressive, and I think when you play a 7-inning game, you need to push the envelope maybe a little earlier than you do in a 9-inning game. The sense of urgency for runs is a little greater in a 7-inning ball game. So I think that would just change our strategy a little bit. In those types of games where maybe in the first or second inning we do try to bunt or hit and run or steal, where in a 9-inning game you might let that develop a little bit to the later innings. So that strategy speaking, that would be what would be different. But also the benefit of that is if you have 4, 5, or 6 guys you can really count on the mound, those 7-inning games can become shorter. We've got good starting pitching, so we're trying to find those guys to be those middle relief guys, but in a 7-inning game, your starter can get you deep. You only need maybe 1 or 2 guys in the bullpen. You don't need to rely on 14, 15 pitchers. A great example is this weekend in Cary, we had 5 9-inning games. 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. So you're trying to map out 45 innings. We're never going to have to do that again the rest of the season until potentially, I guess you could say, the conference tournament. The PSAC tournament is all 9-inning games, the Atlantic Regional, and onto the World Series. Those are all 9-inning games. So I think once we get to that level, that's kind of the strategy behind playing some 9-inning games. It hopefully prepares you strategy-wise, for postseason.
Is that what sets those teams apart? They go compete deep at that point and hear their ability to map that out and strategize?
I'd say more than mapping out is depth. If you have pitching depth, you can go pretty far in any league. So I think that definitely benefits those types of teams later in the season.
Well, you've had the benefit of putting together quite a committed staff. You've got Doc Neiman, you've got Jason Rosendahl, you've got some other guys, Rob Lawrence helping you, and Joe Lopez has assisted you. When you guys all get together, you're all obviously avid baseball minds, and you start throwing ideas off the wall. How much does that help just the entire program in terms of developing strategies, game plans, and just getting ready for a big series?
I think it's one of the strengths of our team is our coaching staff. And it's nothing against staffs I've had in the past, but this year, like you alluded to, we have a very committed coaching staff. They're in the office every day. They're working hard to get better. It's Coach Nyman, Coach Rosendahl, and as you mentioned, Coach Lopez, who's here every day serving as the facility events coordinator. Rob Lawrence is working in a number of different roles on campus. And then we
I'm not sure what Rob Lawrence's official title is anyway.
He's a jack of all trades, man. Master of none. Just kidding, right? But jack of all trades for sure, and he's been instrumental in helping us in a lot of different ways. But yeah, we're very fortunate. I'd say the one thing that has changed from last year to this year that I can point to as a huge improvement in our program outside of performances and players and things like that is our staff. And I put our coaching staff up against anyone in the PSAC. I'm really proud of the work they've done.
You talked about performances getting better this year. You're 7 and 8 thus far. I'm sure you'd like to have those 2 numbers at least reversed. But it's been a strong start to the year. And next week, after this week, you've got going out to East Stroudsburg. And then after this, you've got PSAC West competition. In theory, we will be outdoors somewhere in Western Pennsylvania playing baseball next week. As somebody that's coached in this area for a long time, you're Clarion, you're obviously at Greensburg. The challenges of getting outdoors in Western Pennsylvania are difficult, but once those things get going, is there anything better for a baseball coach than to get out on your field and get playing?
You said that just about an hour ago. We were outside. We finished up practice around 6:45, 7 o'clock tonight. We were out on our field working on it. We were on the football field on the turf there, so fortunate to have that as a backup plan for practice, and we're outside in the cages, so we were sitting there talking about just how nice it is. March 13th, we're outside on the field, getting work in. So hopefully, knock on wood, early spring and all that, and get outside. It's definitely been better than last year, that's for sure. But it is what it is. Like I said before, we don't make any excuses. We're ready to show up, ready to play. We got a couple of good opponents this weekend, but we have 4 more games to prepare for conference play. And like I said, next weekend, Seton Hill, who was the 2-time back-to-back conference champions. So we'll be ready.
All right, Coach. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck this weekend and the rest of the year.
Thanks, Sean.
Anthony Williams.